also curious about the exact dimensions of the Grand Canyon itself. Grand Canyon is 277 miles long. It's 10 miles wide on average, and it's about a mile deep right there. So when you see the river today, it's just, especially at the first spot we're going to check out, which is called Navajo Point, the average width of the river is 100 yards right there, or just about 300 feet. Another way to visualize that is also the average length of a football field right there. So, and the river is moving as well, so there is water. Navajo tribe. It also collects items made directly from Hopi people, from Zuni, the Apache, the Taos, the Pueblo, and also the Acoma tribes, who are all in New Mexico right there. So the trade posts will also make various trips down into South America, and also for sure for other tribes found in New Mexico that have association with tribes who've been in South America for the past 4,000 years right there. So right now we have transitioned into what's called the Painted Desert right here. So back in Flagstaff, we were at 7,000 feet again. Right now, we're just around 5,000. So we've already dropped 2,000 feet in elevation. So that's kind of like the cool thing with our state here, is whenever you gain 1,000 feet, or let's say you drop 1,000 feet, you enter a life zone, a completely different life zone right away. So already since we left Flagstaff, we've traveled through what's called the Pinyon Pine Forest, the grasslands, and right now we're already transitioning into the Painted Desert.
The foot wasn't solid on the landing, and I don't know if he went in or not, but and all it did was by leaping out there, only got him.
So you see the trees down there where it kind of looks like it makes a green S. So right next to the trees, you can see this little white line that's just going down into the canyon towards the river. So that's the Dark Angel you're looking at. And then looking just to the right of where we can see the bridge down there, where like the sun is popping out down there. Do you see those two structures inside the canyon? They're like black dots.
I'm not really right.
So
On
like
this side of the river?
yes, so it's still on, and what you see on the left, that's like a little shelter house for taking a break from the sun. But that line you see that crosses by going to the canyon right there,
Yeah.
that is the South Kaibab right there. So of the Grand Canyon, so let's say the South Rim, you were in the territory for the Havasupai, the Navajo, and the Hopi. But if you were on the other side of the Grand Canyon, so on the side for where North Rim is located, you were in the territory for the Paiutes and also the Ute tribes who currently reside up in Utah at the moment, right there. So, but in terms of the Navajo tribe doesn't really have a strong connection with Grand Canyon, but it is somewhat mentioned a lot in a lot of their cultural stories in terms of like where they come from, and also a lot of the stories they teach their youth. Inside Arizona. You can find 2 in Colorado and then 1 more out in New Mexico. So if you're inside the location of these mountains, you are in the territory for Navajo right there. And it's the territory they call Denecta right there, which translates to the land of the people right there. So one of the mountains that is considered one of the 4 sacred peaks is the one that overlooks Flagstaff. Oh my God, please pull over. Never mind, sorry. So the big mountain that overlooks Flagstaff, that is called the San Francisco Peaks right there. So those are some of the highest elevation points in Arizona as well. So that is a marker that lets you know like you're somewhat in the territory for the Navajo tribe. So if you go into New Mexico, like let's say you stay on Interstate 40, making your way towards Albuquerque and Santa Fe, you will see a mountain along the way that is called Mount Taylor, by the way, which is right in the town called Rance, which is between Gallup and Albuquerque.
Hill, Clarkdale down below us, Clarkdale, Arizona, and then I'll conclude here at the Douglas Mansion. This is, to us locals, the Douglas Mansion. I'm going to pay respect to 3 generations of Douglas's. Dr. James Douglas, Rawhide Jimmy Douglas, who built this facility in 1917 and was the syndicator of this, the second mine. And then I'll also pay respect to Rawhide Jimmy Douglas' son, a gentleman named Stuart Douglas. So when we go here, the red rock behind me, which I guess is kind of cloudy, organic environment where it cools slowly and it precipitates out our minerals that were harvested here in Jerome. Our minerals are the 11th column of the periodic chart of elements, and they are what is known as the coinage minerals. They have common electron structures, gold, silver, and copper. It's very unusual to have gold, silver, and copper all taken in one western mining district. Jerome is absolutely the exception. To the south, copper, very rich copper deposits, Lynx Creek and Prescott gold deposits, Colorado silver deposits. But to have gold, copper, and silver all coming from the same deposits is relatively rare in western mining districts. 1.7-year-old, 1.6 billion-year-old rock deep inside the earth, collision of the tectonic plates, uplifting, the schist comes up, and then all these upper layers of more recent geology are eroded away to expose the very rich schist ore body, the volcanogenic sulfide deposit that lies inside the schist body. Why copper? Why Jerome? There was $1 billion worth of copper taken from here in late 1940 strike prices. Okay, so roll that forward for inflation to today. We're talking $12 or $13 billion worth of copper was taken from this camp, primarily from just the 2 mines that I'm going to talk about. The UVCC above us, it was the granddaddy in terms of tonnage. It was the granddaddy in terms of wealth. And then this much richer, separate volcanogenic sulfide deposit is what's known as the Little Daisy Group, and it was world famous rich. The land that I'm standing on right now, this mine was one of the 3, 4, 5, 6 richest gold, copper, and silver mines anywhere in the world forever. Transportation. And the second industrial revolution culminates. You're welcome to have a seat. Yeah, please. So the second industrial revolution culminates essentially with the invention of the automobile sometime around 1915. So I think of the second industrial revolution as 1870 until 1915. But also what you have in that is massive advances in rail transportation. Keeping in mind, after the Civil War, there's the manifest destiny is kind of the common thinking in America. We're going from sea to shining sea, and we're great. And what head frames in western mining communities, because that is how the minimum material got down into the mine, and if the ore needed to be elevated to get up to rail infrastructure, that's how the ore was brought up to rail infrastructure on those head frames. So underground mining is shafts going down, drifts or tunnels coming out. The drifts go out to the stopes where the ore bodies are harvested, okay? This model of the mine here, it's very, very accurate. It's completed in 1937. It was used in litigation. Litigants were the municipality and the 2 mining companies over who was causing the buildings to fall down when they were blasting twice a day, and everybody's house in town shook. So anyway, this end of the building, the model of the mine completed in 1937. You will see the shafts going down. The Aubrey head frame shaft that is right outside the park here, you will see it going down. The wires are railroad tunnels to get out to the stopes. And what you will take from that is there are 90 miles of rail tunnels under this town, okay? Between the United Verde Extension and the UVCC above us, there are 90 miles of rail tunnels under this town. The city under this community is much larger than the city above, the 1 square mile of city above the ground. Happy to take any questions that you have for me. I'm retired and I got plenty of time, but also thank you very much for visiting us. We do appreciate you coming.